Okay guys, buckle up, this is a big one. Harstem has revealed that Innovation Esports has not paid for Harstem's and Major's prize money from DreamHack Montreal. Speaking on Twitter, Harstem said, quote, "As of today, I'm no longer part of Invasion Esports. The main reason is that we haven't been paid out our DreamHack Montreal money yet. Neither Major or me has received DreamHack Montreal prize money, and the man in charge seems to have disappeared off the face of the earth." End quote. Harstem won $4,000 at DreamHack Montreal, and Major won $6,000. Major also won $1,000 at DreamHack Valencia, which was in July, just 1 month before DreamHack Montreal, which took place in August. There's no word, though, whether or not Major had received that money or whether there was any conflict in him receiving it at all. I've reached out for comments, and I'll update this video with an annotation or something if I ever do get any. Harstem spoke on the Cats and Patrinus show and named Sebou, Invasion's team manager and board member, as the primary actor in this scandal. He said that Sebou has all but vanished. The last contact that Harstem had with Sebou, he was told that the money was not able to be transferred yet. Apparently prize money is very often paid to teams rather than directly to the players, because players have to pay more taxes on their winnings if the tournaments pay the players directly. By transferring funds to the teams first, players make more money at the end of the day just by saving on taxes. Harstem has said on the Cats and Patrinus show that he is planning on pursuing legal action. These allegations have brought some former allegations that happened into the summer back into the light. During the summer, Sebou and Invasion also found themselves in hot water with Choya, the then coach of Team MVP. Choya launched some accusations against the manager, Sebou, claiming that he owed money to Gumiho. The coach of Startail, Spenu, and the Freaka Freaks, Legend, then accused Invasion of owing Spenu 2 months of payment from their 6-month-long partnership. Legend had already been public with those allegations, first making them in January 30th of 2016 on Twitter, but as Choya brought up his new information at the time, Legend went back on Twitter and raised the issue again. Over the summer, when the story with Choya started to break, Choya and Gumiho, I looked into this. I contacted both Choya and Sebou, and I heard back from both of them. Unfortunately, Sebou wasn't able to give me any kind of proof to validate his claims that he was making. What he provided me with were screenshots of Skype messages where the dates had been cropped out of the screenshots. Unfortunately, Choya doesn't have great English speaking skills, and the translator that he had wanted to be paid to work, and I just couldn't afford to do that. So I wasn't able to talk in depth with Choya at all. I reached out to the Team Invasion for comment at the time as well, and they disowned any involvement about this particular conflict with Gumiho, and they completely disavowed the whole thing. Anything that Sebou had done was completely on him, they said. They had no interaction or no dealings with this matter at all. Whether or not that's true, I don't really know, but because Choya was making the accusations directly about Sebou at the time, I can only assume that it was in fact Sebou who was dealing with the matter. Sebou made a Reddit thread on our StarCraft during this time talking about his side of the story and providing different screenshots from Skype than he had initially given me, but the same kind of thing where the date stamp, the timestamp had been cropped out of the screenshots. Choya posted on Twitter some Twitter Messenger screenshots, which really didn't do a whole lot other than establish the fact that Sebou and Choya had talked and that there was some kind of agreement to pay for Gumiho's travel expenses to get him to the DreamHack and to get MKP and Gumiho to Home Story Cup. But neither party was able to provide any bank statements, anything to concretely prove that money had been exchanged or that money had not been exchanged, anything concrete like that. Nobody was able to provide anything of that sort. I did ask Sebou for a bank statement or something concrete that he could give me, and what he told me was that he was traveling at the time. He was in America, so he wasn't able to access very many documents at all. He wasn't home to do it. And when I pushed further about, did you try and do a bank transfer first? Because his big claim was that he had gone through PayPal, and PayPal wouldn't let him transfer all of the required money, so it had been sent back. So when I pressed him on that matter, he completely ghosted on me. He had added me to Skype. We were talking on Twitter Messenger and he just completely vanished. At the time, I didn't want to publish anything, having nothing to contribute to the discussion. All the information that I had already been spread around by Choya and Sebou. Their sides of the story, they were telling pretty proficiently on Reddit and on Twitter, and was being told on Team Liquid, so there was nothing that I could really contribute to anything going on. But the reason why I bring it up now is because I see a lot of people talking about the Gumiho situation, and Gumiho obviously did the AMA with Dank Shrine the other night, which then prompted a Team Liquid thread of the matter, and I commented on the Team Liquid thread. I'm going to comment here too. I just want to tell you guys my personal experience because it's topical, and there are some things that people are saying that just aren't really quite correct. You got to remember that Gumiho did not play this DreamHack that is in question while he was on Team Invasion. He was a member of MVP at that point. Secondly, Sebou was not the CEO of Invasion. According to Liquipedia, the CEO and the president of Team Invasion was somebody named Nicolas Simon from France. Sebou is listed as a VP, and obviously he performed the role of team manager for many of these cases. I see some people in the community talking about how DeMuslim needs to apologize for making statements that seem to support Sebou back during the summer, and kind of the same thing happening with Rifkin as well. I see some people saying things like that, and I want to remind people that Team Invasion had been created at the very tail end of 2013 and had lasted for 2 years at that point when that drama broke. Sebou was a person who was in StarCraft on a professional level for 2 years at that point, and he had built up a very good reputation for himself. Team Invasion had supported players of very high caliber for a number of years at that point in time. So looking back, it's very unfortunate to see people in the community being angry at professionals and personalities who are speaking out on the matter and giving their personal experience having worked with Sebou and Invasion, because at that point in time he did look to a lot of people like he was just a good guy. Now, I'm certainly not trying to defend Sebou or Invasion. Please don't get me wrong. Don't go around thinking that in any capacity at all right? But at the time, in the summer, the facts weren't all clear. There was a lot of he said, she said, and neither party was providing anything concrete to support the claims that they were making, so nobody knew what was happening. So with that in mind, maybe be a little forgiving of the people who came out and said whatever during this time period. Let's funnel that energy into the people who are knowingly, we now know, are ripping off our StarCraft 2 players. I'm not sure that I can provide any additional insight, but if you have a question that you'd like to ask me about it, then fire away, give me a tweet or whatever, leave a comment down below. If you like the video, subscribe here on the channel, go follow me on Twitter, go follow me on Twitch. It's important to see all the things that I do because I do it all for you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.